Hello. I'm gonna wait till I see some folks before I start talking and bringing on our guest officially. So if you are joining me and it's live, make sure you drop a hello in the chat so I can see you and I can acknowledge you. Welcome everybody to Friday Night Live. My name is Tracie Collins, and here on my channel, I discuss business, wellness, and highlights of my life here in Mexico. I am a women growth business strategist, and it is something that I absolutely love. And I'm excited about tonight's guest. So, if you are considering Spain, if you have any kind of curiosity about Spain, this is somebody that I just love her personality. I love how sassy she is. And I really wanted her to come forth and share her story, to share her journey about her life in Spain now and how her wellness has evolved. Honey, the window's closed. Thank you, because those are distracting your flip flops. Child, every night, all my life, I have to fight. Okay, babe. All right, you guys. So, welcome to Friday Night Live. Hey, mom. Mom is here. Hi, mom. How are you? Um, and so, just so you guys can know, I don't feel the best. I woke up today not feeling the greatest. So I did not want to reschedule this because I'm not going to be here next weekend, next Friday. So there will be no Friday Night Live next Friday, but I will be back, of course, the following week. And yes, so another thing, I'm trying to do updates because if I don't, make sure you like, share, and subscribe, all of the things. And make sure you drop your questions. Let's make this an interactive conversation with Yolanda. So I'm going to bring her on now without further ado. Hey, Carla. Carla, I hope you got my email. So check because there was two emails that went out to you yesterday. I think it was yesterday and today. Okay. All right, you guys. So hello, Yolanda.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm
I, I,
good.
I'm just
Go
making
ahead.
sure that I don't accidentally have sound on, but make sure I don't have anything in the background. Anyways,
You're good. You're good.
hey.
I'll tell you if you do.
Okay.
You're good. So first of all, thank you so much for joining me here on Friday Night Live. I really, really appreciate it. Yolanda is somebody I just love her tenacity. I love her sass. Y'all know I'm a sassy girl, so I always look up to women who are a little bit more mature than I am, who's maintained that level of sass, and it just amplifies. So Yolanda is definitely one of those women to me. But let's thank Yolanda for joining us now because guess what time it is over there? So, Yolanda, please share with everyone where you're chiming in from and what time it is.
So I am in Zaragoza, Spain, and it is 2 a.m. here. It is 2 a.m. And I was like, I'm determined. I was determined. I took me a nice nap and I had the most horrible nightmares because I kept dreaming that I missed the live. And I was like, how did the time? So in my dream, it just seemed so real. I was stressing myself out. So when I woke up and my alarm went off, and I was like, oh, Jesus, thank you, thank you. Um, I'm so thankful to be here, though. I've been talking about this, and I said, I want y'all to know that Tracie did offer to do a pre-recorded, and I was like, no, no, we got to do this live. I won't be doing that again. Not at 3 in the morning, but it's worth it. I won't be doing that again. But
You know,
it.
go ahead, go ahead.
Oh no, but it's worth it, and I'm so happy and honored to be here. So thank you.
So, Yolanda, tell the folks like what drew you to Spain. I don't want to like belabor it, but there was a big
Yeah.
reason that you were drawn to Spain.
So the gist of it is my daughter moved here. My youngest daughter moved here in 2016, and even though that still was not on my radar, moving to Spain was not on my radar. There was a slight push, because she got my one and only grandchild. That wasn't the only reason. Okay, that was not the main reason, because even with that, with my daughter having living here with my one and only grandchild, my one and only lollipop, um, it was a reason, but it wasn't the only reason, but it helped a lot. The reason that I ended up picking Spain was because it was it's one of those experiences when you are kind of I didn't know that I was really, quote, "country shopping" or city shopping because originally I was planning when I did decide on Spain, I was like, "I'm moving to Madrid. That's where I'm going." And then Spain, God and Spain and the universe or whatever was like, "No, that's not where you stopping at."
Mhm.
Um, but the reason I selected Spain was because it spoke to me when sometimes when you think that you have an idea of where you're headed, um, and then you get there and it's like, no, this isn't quite it. And you need to acknowledge that. You need to be open and acknowledge that and not try to fit something in that really is not speaking to you in the way that Spain spoke to me. Madrid spoke to me first and was like, girl, come on. Yes, this is it. This is your piece. There was a calm that came with being here after a while and realizing that this might be an option. And then, Zaragoza just sealed the deal.
So tell us a little bit about the aesthetics of Zaragoza. I know outside of Lollipop, but she will make everything beautiful. But how has the experience been for you there? And just aesthetically, how has it just amplified your life by being there?
It has given me this vibe that in my soul that, all things are possible. I look forward. So I am a person that I don't sleep that much, and plus my any jobs or clients that I do have is based out of the U.S. So I work U.S. hours, and I was just having this conversation. I met with some ladies this evening for some cocktails and games at this bar, and I was just saying this that I don't sleep that much because I would go to bed maybe about 1 or 2 when I have when I'm working for a client because it's U.S. hours and depending on what's going on and I still automatically wake up at 7 and I feel so refreshed. I feel
Mhm.
good. There's nothing bogging me down. I look forward to getting up and starting my day with the things that I have to do. And that was not happening in the US. That was not happening with old the last full-time job I had. I hadn't had that feeling. I don't think I've ever had that feeling where it's like, yes, let's get up and start the day. What do you have on your list today?
Yeah,
Isn't this amazing?
yeah, yeah. Talk to me about the food in Spain. So okay, because I have a whole bunch of questions. So first, why did Madrid speak to you? Because what I hear about Madrid is just that how they don't like people that look like this, but like this they're
I
okay with. I'm black like this, not like this. So
Yeah,
how has have you sensed any of that? Because you really love Madrid.
I love Madrid. Um, you know, eh, I cannot say, like it doesn't exist. I can say I haven't had that experience for me. Now,
Mhm,
do I get some side eyes sometimes? Oh, I get that more here in Zaragoza. But maybe I just live in my own little bubble head where I'm just like, no, I don't see that. No, mm-mm.
mhm,
No, it's not.
mhm.
So I know that that there are definite challenges that do exist. For me, I just haven't experienced it to a level that would make me be like, "Oh, that represents the whole of Madrid, or that represents the
Right.
whole of Zaragoza." Um, yeah, so I can't take that part and be like, "Well, I'm not wanted here," because no,
Yeah,
yeah, because I mean, I probably got more of that in Texas and stuff,
yeah.
and yeah,
I
so.
understand, the anyway, don't get me started. This is not about me and my feelings about the United States. Okay, so and talk to me about the food. So I'm a big foodie, and for me, I can't live in a country where I don't like the food, which was part of my draw to Mexico. So
Mhm.
how is the cuisine over there, and have you felt any difference in your body, in your system, since immersing yourself there in the culture?
So, this funny, I think a couple of weeks, maybe about a month or so ago, I don't know if it was me just doing my own talking or if I was being interviewed, I can't remember. But I think I had said something like the food was okay. That's not true. The food is not just okay. The food is really good here. Okay. 'Cause
Mhm.
I've found my places because there are so many
Yeah,
restaurants.
yeah.
Um, because I can only compare mostly back to Texas. So in Houston, everything is so spread out. but there's, you still have a lot of restaurants. But here, like in Zaragoza and or Madrid, everything is so much more condensed, especially here in Zaragoza, because it's a very, very walkable city. So
Mhm,
like it just like seems like every 15 feet you got a restaurant, you got a bar, you got a cafe. So there's
mhm,
so many options. And um I think that I have experienced more since I have moved into my own flat in the city central area. I think
mhm.
that's why, because before I was staying with my daughter, and not to say, there's she stays like more out in the suburbs. And again, it's Zaragoza, so the version of suburbs, it still takes me 20 minutes. It just takes me 20 minutes by tram to get to her. So when I
Mhm.
say that, it's not like downtown Houston is going up to the Woodlands. If anybody knows me, okay, or going to
Well,
Anaheim through LA.
being
Yeah,
from like the Bay Area and Atlanta, I understand distance very
yes,
well.
yes.
Okay,
So,
yeah.
but since I've actually moved into my own place and I go out and do things, and then also with my experiences, again in Madrid, there's great food. You just have to learn to see what works best for you. Like I can't stand croquettes anymore. Croquettes. Those I
Mhm.
love bechamel sauce. I'm sick of it. I'm absolutely sick of it. You can't make me. Um,
That's so
the other
funny.
thing that I can't stand here, but they have them, are the tapas with everything on top of a piece of bread. No, won't do it. You can't make me. It's like because you're thinking that you have to put this whole piece of bread and whatever the random top is,
Right.
and yeah. So, but there are so many other wonderful foods here, and like, like, there's this one place, this Ecuadorian place that I love. I mean, I am hooked on that. Who
They
knew?
have
Okay.
pupusas. They have
Hmm.
pupusas.
I'm not at
Pupusas.
this one. This one is more fine dining, but yeah, there's places that have the pupusas. There's the thing is this, when people, like, when I've gone to Mexico, they're like, "Oh, did you enjoy the Mexican food?" Well, yeah, but there's more than just Mexican food there.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing here.
Mhm.
It's Spain, but I'm not just gonna sit up here and just eat Spanish food the entire time. They have a whole array of different types of, food. They have, Asian, they have Japanese, they have Chinese, they have Italian. So I
Mhm.
mean, just every type of food you could think of, it's here. But
Mhm.
it's really walking distance, and it's a it can be a bit much. You have to like catch yourself. I had to catch myself because I was like, "Girl, you." I'll say this: people are like, "Oh, you're gonna lose so much weight because you're gonna be walking
That's a
everywhere."
lie. That is
Girl,
a lie. That is a lot. When I tell you, I can't stand when people say, "Oh, when you move abroad, you're gonna lose so much weight." That is a lie. We have gained weight since living in
mhm,
Mexico.
mhm, yep.
So it's
I
good to know
have.
that we're not the only one.
Mm-mm.
Okay.
You walk everywhere and you eat everywhere. It's so
Yeah.
yeah, you have to reel that in. I have actually, since I moved into my own place, I go out because when I was in the States and working from home, I would be going out like, I don't know, 3, 4 times a week because I was living by
Mhm,
myself. I was working from home.
mhm,
Here, I tend to, I think I've gone out like maybe twice a week. I go out maybe twice a week. Definitely once a week, but maybe twice a week. And I think that's because um, it's again walking distance, so I don't have to. Me going out is not a big event of any
mhm.
sort because there's so many options, and also the grocery stores are like walking distance, so I can go to the grocery store and grab something and be okay. So I'm not as I think about it, I'm not spending as much money going out, but I still
Yeah,
go
you
out.
you find that you have to, like, rein that in. Like, we've been in,
Hmm.
abroad for a year now, and all the let's go out to eat, or this person is coming into town, and let's it's like that gets old.
Hmm.
And when you live in a place, it's like we live here, so the whole going out and connecting isn't really a big deal to us as much,
Hmm.
because it's we work, or we are tired or we're going about our day-to-day lives, running our errands, or we just don't feel like it. There's so many rooftops and restaurants that you can go to in San Miguel because, it's a smaller town, but even so, it's like we're not on vacation, so we can't live like we're on vacation.
Exactly. Yeah, I was talking to Eve Clark just the other day about the same thing. It's like when
Mhm.
you're in it, it's great. And don't get me wrong, it's great when I have family and friends come by. I've had maybe I think about in Zaragoza, I've had I think 3 or 4, 3 Black women come so far since I moved here, that have come through. I've met up with, a couple of people in Madrid, within our community, within the Exodus Summit community, or just, like, Black women in general that I know from other groups, and it's been wonderful, but also, I have to make sure it's like, this you're not gonna go out this week because you know that such and such is coming into town, and that's when you're gonna go out.
Right. Right. You really have to rein that in. And I think, Honey and I, we were talking about things that you don't know until you get abroad, like, or was it me and the girls? I'm not sure, but we were talking about, oh, it was me, us and the girls. Oh, it was all of us. Okay. My brain. But we were talking about the things that you don't realize until you get abroad and the constant going out. That gets old and it gets old quick. You know
Mhm,
what another thing is that you don't know until you get abroad is if you have to go back to the States for whatever reason or for an emergency situation and not anticipating having to take that journey and
mhm,
things come up, so being prepared financially to, oh crap, I got to go back to the States. Or, there's something that comes up and I need to get back immediately. So those are the things that we're finding now that you would not know unless you are now living abroad and having to factor those things in.
yes, yes, I mean, I am fortunate that I'll say this, I don't plan to go back to the States again until, God willing, May.
Mhm.
Hopefully, nothing dramatic
Right.
comes up
We always,
that needs.
yeah,
Yeah, but
crossing fingers and toes.
yes, so that's something that, it's like, okay, well, I have that credit card for the just in case. I
Mhm.
don't use it, but it's there for the just in case I need to make a
Absolutely.
quick run. Yeah.
So let's talk about, like, I want to get into a new potential blossoming business, budding business, that we kind of highlighted on before we jumped on camera. I'll get to that
Mhm.
later. But I really want to talk about just how your mental clarity has been, how your mental health and wellness has been since leaving the States and now acclimating yourself into a new culture and country. How has that impacted you? And have you seen a difference within yourself?
I've absolutely seen a difference within myself. I don't feel, and I've explained this before, that I don't feel that weight on
Yeah.
that tension in my shoulders. Um, I am not taking so I have, I'm not taking my anxiety medicine because I take it as needed. I'm not taking that as much. I have enough because when I was in Mexico, I actually kind of stocked up. Yeah, I think I'm stocked up for a while, like for the next year or so. I think maybe I had one slight oncoming anxiety attack while since I moved here, but actually, well, since I quit my job, I've had maybe when I was transitioning and getting ready through the last year before coming here, I was probably having some anxiety attacks. As a matter of fact, I know I did. But since I've been here, I think maybe I've had one. And the fact is that I'm saying I think maybe I had it because when you have an anxiety attack,
You know, you
okay,
absolutely know. Yeah. Yeah. So
Um,
just your life has slowed down and you've
mhm.
been able to not live in such a hypervigilant state anymore that Black women live and Black people live in the States.
And the thing is, the first time that I visited, so the very first time that I visited Spain was back in 2018, and that was rushed because I was still working full time.
Mhm.
But it was just for like 5 days. So if anybody knows, when you come overseas, whatever, it's really great if you could spend more than a week.
Oh, I mean, you really want to get in 2 weeks because of the jet lag
Mhm. Yeah.
and the
Yes.
travel.
but I didn't really because it was so rushed, and then I was just coming straight back, and I rested. I slept for like 24 hours when I got back, and then it was like, okay, let's go back to work. But the
Mhm.
second time that I came to Spain to visit, I can't remember. I think it was after COVID. I think my daughter had the baby. Yeah, I'm trying to like making things up in my head and stuff, but I'm pretty sure it was like, yeah, she had the baby, and I was still working full time. But again, that's when I felt it, as it just seemed like as I was landing back in Houston, I just
Mhm.
felt all the pressure just come back to me with,
Mhm.
you know, not sleeping the night before. Like on Sunday nights was absolutely horrible because I could not sleep because of all the things that I knew I had to do
Mhm.
regarding that job, which shall not be named. Um, so there's a certain there's just a certain ease in my soul and in my
Mhm.
physical well-being that has just come across me since I have moved here. Still I still work, but I had, I do only contract, and I had a consult. I had a really good consulting contract that I brought with me here, and
Mhm.
still job, I'm working, but I was okay because I knew, one, they were paying me mad money. Two, is
Mhm.
that I knew it was going to end. I knew
Mhm.
that that job was not going to like just bog me down mentally and physically, because I knew I came in there with a purpose, with goals, that I had to have some deliverables. And even though, I know that the people that worked in that office, I could feel what I knew what they were going through. I
Mm.
could see it looking in. I knew
Mhm.
exactly what they were going through, all the office politics, the mess that happens. I was just like, "Oh my god, yes," because I had to go there for 2 days before I left to come here. I had to go in there for 2 days and meet with the team that I was gonna be, guiding, and also getting some equipment because they wanted me to have my own company
Mhm.
laptop. And just in
Mhm.
that 2 days, I was like, "Oh god, this is why I don't work in an office anymore."
Mhm.
And knock on wood, I don't think that anybody could pay me enough to want to go back and work in the office again. Just no,
Oh, we were hanging
girl.
out with friends last night, and he's retired. It's a couple, and the guy, he's retired, and he said, "I would go on welfare before I go back to work." I just thought
Mm-mm,
that was like, he said, "Never again." He said, "I will never do that."
mm-mm. It's it just summed it all up. And I will say that even with the contracts that I did last year, there's always
Mhm.
somebody that I have to report to. And they have that there's this look on management's face, executives'
Mhm.
faces, that
Mhm.
it's like this crazed, delirious look, because I had it. I had
Yeah.
it. It was like,
Yeah.
it's like, "I don't know what I'm doing here. We just kinda piecing it together and doing the best that we can, and hopefully, the boss don't yell at me and, make me feel like I'm not doing anything." And there was just this look, and I just felt so much compassion for the people that I was reporting to, because I
Mhm.
remembered that, and I'm like, "I'm just gonna take my little cushy little, 60-day or 90-day contract job, and I'll see y'all later
Mhm.
because I don't care." Okay.
Right, right, because you had an end goal. It's like when you can see the light at the end of the tunnel, it gives you something to look forward to. I always say that we need something to look forward to as human beings because it's good for our mental health and wellness. It's just
Mhm.
essential. Taking a trip, or you had that light at the end of the tunnel, knowing that this contract was going to be over, so your time was limited. Was
Yes.
so,
Yeah.
yeah.
There is an
So
absolute peace.
I, I love that. I love that for you. What about like the Black community there in, let's start with Madrid and then go to Zaragoza.
Okay, so in Madrid, there is absolute, yeah, there's wonderful community there. Are they just like, just standing around like, "Hey, girl, we've been waiting on you,"
Right.
No, okay. But like I belong to different groups, like Black in Spain, like
Mhm,
Melanin Madrid, and so when I like even before I get there, or like I'm going back to Madrid in a couple of weeks, it's like, "Hey, I have people now there." It's like, I'll be there in a couple of weeks, um, and I'll ask, are there any particular events that are going on that
Mhm,
weekend that I don't know about. Like the last time I stayed there for, oh, I want to say it was a week, maybe it was 2 times before. But anyways, I was doing a pet sit in
mhm.
Madrid back in August. And I just reached out when I was here and I just said, "Is there anything going on?" I don't reach out to people in my group and land and be like, "Where's the party at? What's going on?" It's not like that. I've seen people post that before. Like, they're just like, "What is there to do?" It's like, "Well, what part of Spain or Madrid or whatever are you in?" We need more details. Like, we're
Yeah.
not just gonna show up at your hotel like, "Girl, it's party time."
Wh
No.
When I tell y'all, it's different because when you are on the other side and you're excited about meeting people that live in that particular area, SMA is extremely popular and voted number one by Travel and Leisure to relocate to in the world. So we're not really looking forward to the what do you call high season that we're in now because we know it's going to be a huge influx. But people don't understand like we live here, so it's hard. Like people are not going to stop what they're doing because you're on vacation, and you don't. Like I said earlier, you can't really get a sense of that until you're actually in it, experiencing it because there's multiple requests to join you and not just you but other folks too, but with the
Yeah.
certain events like planning events, there are some people who are local that I'm sure that they will get together and the people who are visiting can join and meet people, right?
Yes. And it was, and the thing is, like, when I did the pet sit a couple of weeks ago, well, back in August, I said a couple of weeks back in August, when I posted within the group, I just said, "Hey, I'm here. Are there any events that going on this weekend as far as like throughout the city?" And
Right.
so like, there was like a street festival that was happening in La Latina in Madrid. And I was like, "Oh, okay, I'll go to that." And I just said, if anybody wants to meet up with me, I will be here. So I ended up meeting up with two wonderful people and we had a great time and hung out. And it was just perfect. So there is community. I think I had talked about Black community. I think I had talked about before how I think I was on a pet sit in Madrid in May, and they had a game night. There was a planned game night for the group at this at Reggae One Love, which has this great Jamaican great oxtails, jerk chicken and oxtails. It was so good. Anyways,
Michelle
and
makes
that was
oxtails all the time. She didn't make them this week, but yeah, we get when I tell you there's no shortage of oxtails where we at.
See, and I just got into oxtails as an adult. That was never my jam. I just
Really?
got like actually within the past like maybe maybe 5 or 6 years I've gotten into oxtails. Just yeah. I was never into them when I was younger. I nope, couldn't do it. But that night there was like a game night and we were playing Uno and we were playing musical chairs and yeah, there's
Yeah,
a
I
video
play
of me
musical
somewhere that said
chairs.
like bopping
Wait a
people
minute,
with my butt.
wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. So you guys play musical chairs, Yolanda?
Grown people, yes. Grown
Oh
ass
my
people,
God, do
excuse
you
me,
know that is
yes.
one of my absolute childhood favorite games? Oh my gosh. Oh, now see now we're gonna have to play musical chairs here. So next time we have like a get together, Michelle is on here. So when we have a get together,
That
Michelle,
is
we're gonna have to play musical chairs. That is it's the things that you don't even think about like as an adult that just, we don't do those things anymore. But thank you. Thank you for the
yeah.
idea. We're gonna do that.
What was so great about it because, at first I was like, "I'm gonna let the young people have that," so I'm gonna, y'all go ahead. And they were like, "Come on, girl." I was like, "No, that's okay." I got out there, I was like, I'm knocking people over.
Bump your butt on the floor. I want to bump your butt on the floor. There is what do you call it? There's no child labor laws and there's no elder labor laws. Wherever you fall is where you gonna land with
It's like,
me.
I asked you if you okay after I win this game.
After
Okay.
I win the game. After I win the game. Okay, so let's talk about, and I hope this turns into something that you are a staple in the community for. Tell the people what you are embarking upon in Madrid. And first of all, how many women or how many Black folks showed up recently to the meetup in Madrid? And then now the upcoming one in Zaragoza.
Okay, so I just want to go ahead and just clarify some things here. The meetup in Madrid has not happened yet. Okay, the meetup in Madrid is coming
Okay.
in a couple of weeks. Okay,
Okay.
so I had
Oh,
to
we're
like
on
kind
the
of,
23rd,
yeah,
October 23rd.
October
Okay.
23rd. So I was
Okay.
just sharing about how I just had fun in Madrid, and I've gone there and showed people around, and it's just for funsies, and my I have three daughters, and the other two came over a few weeks ago, so I had all three of my daughters in
Is that
Spain.
picture that I saw? You have one that
Um,
looks dead on you.
I'm not sure. No, because I don't think I posted any of those pictures yet. I need to. It's like on
Okay.
my Facebook thing, but yeah, more recent ones. But yes, I will be posting those soon.
Okay.
But with that, so I forgot where I was going with that. So we had the meetup. Excuse me, we had the thing. We were hanging out in Madrid. Anyways, um, October 23rd is when we're doing a meetup in Madrid, and basically it's lunch. We're having lunch in Madrid, but I don't just have lunch. I'm not doing no croissants and coffee. I'm having cocktails and food. So in Madrid, so we're having a meetup on Wednesday, October 23rd. Right now, we're looking at, I think it's like anywhere 10 to 15 Black women. Some already live in Spain. Like I think one or two lives like in Madrid or close by. Some are coming up from Malaga, Valencia to come and commune with us. There's some definitely that are flying in, and so
Mm,
it's really excited. So then people are like, "So y'all just doing one day in Madrid for lunch?" Well, that's the lunch, but
right.
I'm actually coming in. I'm actually coming to Madrid like either Sunday night or Monday because I have a sister that's coming in to hang out with us also during this time. And so
Nice.
yes, there's going to be a few activities beforehand, but yes, the big lunch on Wednesday. And
Mhm.
like one of the things I reached out to Kwame from Afro Iberia. He does the Black History Tour in Madrid. It's intense, very intense. So
Mm,
yeah, so I let the ladies know. I'm like, hey, this tour is going to be, he's available if you want. Actually, just off topic, on topic. I've done his Black History tour twice in Madrid, and now he
mhm.
just started one in the evening where it's the tour plus a whole like African food thing.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, yeah. I just saw that yesterday. I was like, oh, wait a minute, I got to come
Okay.
back.
Yeah.
So, anyways, yes, so we're doing that, and I think I can put this in here since yeah, I can put it in there myself. I'm gonna put drop the link to sign up
Yeah.
for that. Yes, and let's see here. Yep, I sure can.
If
And then
I may put
also,
there, let me see. See
say
if you
what?
can drop it in. See if you can drop it
Let's
in.
see. Is it working? Let's see. Did that work?
Yeah, it works.
Okay,
Mhm.
yay. Okay, cool. So, so that's one, and then what's happening is that's on the 23rd, and then on October 24th and 25th, um, if you want to go to Zaragoza after the Madrid meetup, then we're gonna go and hang out for 2 days in Zaragoza, so I can show you around Zaragoza, and I'm really excited about that. um, People are always like, been asked, like, so is there a black community in Zaragoza? Yes, there's black people in Zaragoza. Is it as huge a community as in Madrid? No, Zaragoza is smaller, but it's like the fifth
Mhm.
largest city in Spain with 682,000 people. Okay,
Okay.
so yeah.
Yeah.
So there's black people here, but it's not such a large community. And people are like, well, you would still go, and it's like, well, I'm still here. I'm okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
And my theory is if you build it, they will come. See?
Mhm.
Yes.
Mhm.
So just, inviting people just to come and have the experience and understand that coming to Zaragoza is not like necessarily like, oh, I'm scouting Zaragoza. If this is a place that you would like to come and check out to visit, to have a getaway,
Mhm.
vacation, if you're country shopping, or if you just,
Be careful of your mic a
oh,
little
I'm
bit.
sorry.
That's
Okay.
it. Yeah. Because we're getting like some feedback from the mic.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm like all expressive and everything. And yes. Okay. Let's try that.
Okay. Yeah. So
So,
keep going. The meetup in Zaragoza, and you guys are
yes.
gonna hang out. And so there's gonna be 2 days after Madrid. So you are planning to see how this goes and potentially do what?
So I would like to. The thing was this. I wasn't thinking about building this into something. That was not my intention. But also, anybody that knows me from Texas, they know that I started the Texas Sisters in Texas for Exodus Summer for Black women, and yeah, and I've hosted quite a few meetups before I left, and then I handed the reins over to somebody else to handle it. Actually, the women in the group have just been amazing with the.
What do you
I
mean,
mean, that
Janae?
just took off.
Janae, right?
Janae, the
Doesn't
luxury
I love you
vagabond,
know that's my
yes.
sister girl. Janae is when I tell you Janae is my sister girl for real.
Yes.
So she's here often. She's been here twice in the
Mhm.
last like 3 months. But yeah, I love
Yep.
me some Janae.
Yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
they're doing like meetups all over, Houston, Austin, Dallas. It's just taken off. But so
Mm-hmm.
when I came here, I just thought I'm just gonna get settled. That was the furthest thing in my brain. But just in my heart, I guess I was like, you need to build your community and you need to let other Black people know that there is community, that there's support and there's love, and it's a nice option to consider moving to, or to consider just coming to every now and then to visit, and to be free of the craziness that could be, probably the US. And
Right.
um so I want to see how this goes. I think just my natural personality and vibe and stuff is that I do want to build something where people can come and maybe host like a bigger events, like maybe once or twice a year. I'm not
Mm-hmm.
sure yet.
Mm-hmm.
I do see myself. I swear, I do see myself really getting to know and understand the culture and the history of Zaragoza more, so that I can offer more informed tours
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
for people that might be coming, English speaking, because I'm Spanish ain't me. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
that language ain't me. So yeah, but um, I would like to do that, and the reason why, even really deeply thinking about it, is because some of the women that have already come to visit and hang out with me, and I take them to these sites, and I'm building this whole little process. Like, okay, so here we're gonna go here, know where to take the pictures and everything, and somebody's like, "Well, tell me about this cathedral." I'm like, "Girl, ain't it pretty? What?" Okay,
So you got to learn the history of the city.
yeah,
Yeah. But
yeah,
one of the things that I've noticed in being abroad is there are going to be business ideas that will come to you that you would never even think of doing prior to moving.
hmm
Uh, like one of the things that I offer and what makes mine like really niche is the fact that I work with people who are building their businesses and brands and also relocating too. So I have clients who are doing both. So I help
hmm
them maintain their business structure or get their business structure together online so they can live a successful life abroad, but also helping them to construct the pieces abroad. So
hmm
it's something that had somebody not reached out to me asking me, Tracie, can you work with us this way? I would have never thought about.
yeah. It's been, yeah, because again, getting out of that mindset for me, that you have to have one full-time job and that's it, and that job you need to just depend on for your financial stability and for your insurance and all that. And
Yeah.
to get out of that mindset has been a great release.
Hmm.
um I know that now right now, I have some leeway. My client, my 6-month contract ended, and I'm like, well, I could wait till the end of the year. That's not within me. I don't know if I can. Yeah, I can't sit still for that long. But it's given me some freedom to discover some other things and look at some other options.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, and be like, well, you can, go ahead and lean into this whole idea of doing the tours, and in different seasons, and get as much knowledge as possible to make sure it's something that's not just like, look at the pretty building. Okay. Ooh.
So TW said, even when your money is straight, it is still stressful moving abroad, learning the language, and with all the paperwork involved, is crazy. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think people don't, I mean, you don't know what you don't know. And
Mhm.
moving abroad does require a lot of intricate steps. And I think it's essential to work with folks who are and have, have done it themselves and who have landed successfully. And you can see that in your journey abroad. So like in your possible, I'm always trying to put somebody's, create a business because that's just what I do. But I think that would be like fantastic because you have such a unique space, meaning like in that particular town that is
Yeah.
not Barcelona or Madrid that may speak to the smaller person who likes more of a small town feel. Because us, we're in San Miguel, but we're 3 hours from Mexico City,
Mhm.
and San Miguel ended up being the perfect place for us. So kind of same thing.
Yeah. Oh, very much so, because I am definitely, I say this a lot. I am big city, inner city person. That's just yes. I
Hmm.
don't want to be my goal was not to be is well, my goal is not to be in a small town because Zaragoza, for all intents and purposes, is not a small town
Hmm.
at all. But again, I love the convenience because it is an hour and 15 minutes by train to get to Madrid or to Barcelona. Yeah. So
Wow.
I love that. Um, when I had, my friend that came, I actually met this person um, in Mexico. We met up in Mexico City. We met at Black Cocina. At game
Okay.
night. Oh, no,
Okay.
not at the trivia, the hip hop trivia night. This is where I met
Okay.
this friend. And
Uh-huh.
so, yeah, we met back in January, and then, she's a traveling digital nomad and stuff that travels with groups and stays in different countries or whatever for like a month, before
Mhm.
they go on to the next place. So anyways, she was here and, as we were walking around and I was showing her, we went to different places and, she was like she didn't like Barcelona. She really didn't. She was like, "Ah, it was okay. It's just too much." But walking around here, she was like, "Oh, I get it. I get this." She's like, "I need to
Mhm.
see if I can get my mom to come over here and check
Mhm.
this out." And yeah, it's just such a lot more. I don't want to say there's the hustle and bustle is not there like it is in the bigger cities, but you
Mhm.
see everybody out and about
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
doing their thing, and it's just the ease and yeah, it's just so I've enjoyed it. One of the questions that you had asked that I did not finish answering though was you were asking me about the quality of the food.
Oh, yeah. Child, I forgot all about that.
So yes, my body feels different, um,
Mhm.
and I feel like I'm not there's the need for the junk food or whatever, even though that was never, like, my jam, I haven't done that in a long time, but even the junk food here, you're like, "Oh, this don't taste like the junk food,
It
in the
don't.
States." Mm-mm, it does not. Eh,
Mhm.
case in point, my daughter, like, loved the hot Cheetos in the States, and whenever we would come, she would always, "Bring me some hot Cheetos, bring me some hot Cheetos."
Mhm.
So, they started making hot Cheetos here in Spain, and she's like, It doesn't have
They're
the
not.
preservatives that make you, like, crave them in the same way, it's just different."
Yeah. It's so fun because like Honey went to the States earlier this week and came back, and I love Clubhouse crackers. There's no
Mhm,
Clubhouse crackers here in Mexico. So she brought me a
mhm,
box of Clubhouse crackers, and my mom sends like care packages, and she sends me like things that I can't get here, which
mhm.
I sent her another list, I think earlier this week, but she didn't confirm it. So, Mom, I know you're listening. I know you got my list. Um, and I have my wavy Lay's potato chips, the bread bag on, on there. So, my next package that Elwanda sends, it is going to have some wavy Lay's potato chips because the potato chips here that I like, the plain ones, they're not Lay's. They're just the salt factor isn't there, the craving you can't, it doesn't do the same thing, but it's also good because your body transitions and you don't eat
Mhm.
that anymore.
Yeah, because even when, like, and I've seen that with some things with me too, but like with my daughter, when she finally somebody did bring her like the original, hot Cheetos from the States. She was like, that tastes horrible now. It's like
Yeah,
something has transitioned. Yeah.
your palate changes. Like there are certain things now that will taste that will be too salty or too sweet because the content that they use here in Mexico, they don't put all of that extra crap in
Mhm.
there. So we
Yeah, they're
can't even eat certain
it's
things anymore.
forbidden. It's for like,
Right.
they're like, "We're not gonna allow our citizens to put that in their
They
system."
actually care.
No.
They
How about
actually
that?
care. Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
So, I mean, we are have adjusted that the same way. So, let me see, making sure. Oh, I actually thought about this. Oh, wait, no. Thought about adding the chips before I asked them. Okay, thanks, mom. My eyes saw something else. How is before we get off, because she knows the things that I like. You just have things that are nostalgic or you like. But how is the dating life in there? Like, what's dating like over
So, I have not been dating yet, and it's not, I mean, I've done my fair share of flirting, most definitely. I've definitely had my fair share of, gentlemen, checking me out, and, and that's a great feeling.
there?
I have
Mhm.
not gotten back into the dating game, and the reason why is just because leading up to, moving here, the journey was like a year process, and I did not want to be distracted by
Yeah.
any means. Um, you know, I you know, I had my convenient friends that if I needed to see somebody about a horse, see a man about a horse, then that was possible. But
Mhm.
I was not I didn't wanna date, and try to, like,
Mhm.
accidentally fall in lust with somebody. I was like, "No, we're
Right,
not doing all that." Yeah.
right.
It's just so here now, yes, I would like to, check out some things, whether I'm meeting them organically just by being out or actually via apps, I'm not sure. Um, with all the love, I don't know if I'm ready to put the effort in. I have a friend that, I met him a couple of years ago, and he lives in Madrid, and he now knows that I've actually moved to Spain, but he's from he's from Cameroon, and so he's visiting family right now. And he's somebody that I can hang out with and enjoy.
Mhm.
Um, it was just I had a conversation with somebody about this before. I miss in the whole of it, I miss like the affection. Sometimes, holding hands, cuddles, whatever. But
Mhm.
that comes in peaks and valleys because one minute I'll be like, you know what, I really do miss, having somebody to cuddle up with. And then the
Right.
next be like, girl, you good. I'm all right. It's okay. Mm.
That's that Libra for you. You guys, her
Yeah.
birthday was that's that Libra energy for you sometimes, and yeah, never mind. It's like it's
Yeah.
all okay.
Yeah, so, yeah, the peaks and valleys comes and goes and stuff, it's one of the things about being single, and appreciating it is, when if I feel like I need company, I'll get company. And
Right.
then if I don't wanna be bothered, then that's fine. Eventually, I would like to find, maybe be in, a relationship
Mhm.
that is beneficial to both of us.
Right.
But right now, I'll get
You're
there.
having fun doing you.
Yes,
You
yes,
are
it's
having
the and it
fun.
is. So, here the thing is, clothes are a little different. Like I judged. I really did. I remember I was here in the winter during 2022. I came in October, and it does get very cold here in Zaragoza because it's like a kind of a valley. So that wind, that cold wind. I've never been to Chicago, but I don't know. It's like that cold wind can you go around a corner and just whip
Right.
your neck back. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I would see these girls wearing like these little short skirts or skirts or whatever with the tights on, and then like the boots
Mhm.
and you want to always be dressed comfortably, so they have like these big like platform like boots that everybody wears. And I was like, what the hell are they wearing? Why? Yeah, and I just ordered my little skirt. I'm getting me some tights and everything and stuff because I'm gonna be walking around
Oh, so
strutting
now you're
strutting
starting to dress like them.
Hey. Yes.
I love it. So make sure you take pictures and post it because I know you'll look really cute.
Yes,
I
but
love
yeah,
it.
just trying to be I don't so they don't necessarily, I mean, everybody, dresses their own way, but
Mhm.
I definitely don't dress, quote, age appropriate. It's like I'm gonna dress how
I
I
believe
feel.
you.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, I'm like missing with all that. But yeah, just there's way to like I can't there's no way you don't wear heels. That's just not happening. I don't see
Right.
nobody wearing
Yeah.
heels at all
I
because you're
it
walking
it's
everywhere.
yeah, here it's cobblestones here, so you break your neck if you want to.
I gotta tell you, so I was in San Miguel. I had a pet sit earlier this year in San Miguel when I
Uh,
was in Mexico for 2 months, and I was in a cab. I was coming. I think I was just getting over being sick because I got like deathly ill when I was there. But when I was just over it, I went to the store and I had taken a cab back. And as the cab driver was taking me back to where I was staying at, we see this guy and this woman in these just dressed. I mean, I guess they were on a date, just heels. I mean, heels. And she was a local. It looked like a local,
mhm.
just in these heels. And I was like, why? And like, we both, like in my English and his Spanish, was like, what?
What is
What
wrong with
what are you
her?
doing? Like,
Uh,
you look like a local. Why are you in these like stiletto heels on cobblestone in San
Maybe she
Miguel?
was here for the, like celebrating, something. I don't know. And
Okay.
I don't know. But that's something that you don't see often here because
You know.
of the cobblestones. It's just you will break your neck. People break their ankles in flats, in tennis shoes. So
Hmm.
it's very common here. I'm still knocking on wood. I think there's an initiation fall. Like you will fall at some point. I've made it a year and I still haven't fallen. Knock on wood
Ooh,
for real.
I'm knocking on wood for you.
Yeah, because I don't want that experience. All right, you guys. So thank you so much, Yolanda, for joining us. Is there any last words? Anything that you want to incentivize the people? Make sure if you guys are planning to, if you're watching the replay, type in replay gang so we can make sure that we reply and respond, but also click the link so you can potentially join or get more information about what she has going on over there. Be sure to follow Yolanda. I follow Yolanda on not only YouTube, but Facebook. I love how her personality really shows on Facebook more because it's just she posts like little pictures. But any last words that you want to say to the people? And thank you so much for being up in the middle of the night for us.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead after this. I'm gonna, I guess, lay down and watch some Netflix. I've been watching The Resident and stuff, so yeah, I'm gonna watch that until I fall back asleep and stuff. But just I always like to ask on my channel is like, how are you locating your cozy? What are you doing to make yourself happy? To put your self worth, put yourself first. And I just encourage you to do that. Just locate your cozy. Find out what makes you happy. That's gonna bring down your blood pressure,
Yeah.
and and just make changes that's gonna like make you feel and know that you're having a more productive and happier life than what people have told you um what you should be doing.
Right, right. So
Yes.
make sure you guys just think about that. There's a lot of introspection that is required to answer that question. Oftentimes, people, Michelle, operate on autopilot. I'm calling her out because she is always on the go. But sometimes we have to stop and just like give ourselves the necessary love and attention that we need. And that's one of the things that I know about living abroad and leaving the United States. It's like we don't have that anxiety brought with us anymore. We can actually lean into a little bit slower, softer way of life and taking our time. So I appreciate you, Yolanda, so much. Thank you so
Thank
much for being
you.
here. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Bye, you guys. Yolanda, just stay here. Let me just tell them goodbye. Bye, y'all. Remember, I'm not going to be here next week, but I will be back the following week. Okay, so no Friday Night Live next Friday. All right, you guys. Have a good night.